I absolutely love working with beans. Doesn't matter if they're fresh, canned, served in a soup, or as a side dish, one of my all-time favorite vegetables. They're also super good if you chill them down and serve them up in a salad. So I'm gonna show you two of my favorite bean salad recipes that I know you're gonna love. We need to start off though by knocking out a little prep. Sound good? Let's cook. So the first one we're gonna prepare is a classic 3-bean salad, and we are gonna kick it off by making a very simple vinaigrette. Here's how you do it. In a large bowl, I have a 1/3 cup of apple cider vinegar. We're gonna add in a 1/4 cup of sugar. You could substitute for honey if you'd like. Next, we're gonna add in a 1/4 cup of olive oil. We wanna season it up very well with a little bit of salt and fresh cracked black pepper. Once it is in there, we want to use a whisk and mix it until it is completely combined. However, it's not going to be emulsified. It may break up a little bit, which is totally fine. Set it to the side. Now for the green beans. I have about 2 cups of fresh green beans, and there are a couple ways you can prepare them. You can pick off the stem end and then break it into small 1-inch pieces. This is kind of old school, like in my ham and green beans video with grandma and mom. Or you can do it a more culinary chic way, if you will, and line them up on the stem ends. Simply trim off that end like this, and then just cut them into 1-inch pieces until all the green beans have been trimmed up. Then we're gonna add it to a bowl and set it to the side. And the next bean to prep up are wax beans. Now I do realize these are sometimes hard to find at your local grocery store. They're in peak season in between July and roughly September-ish. Now, if you can't find these, my best substitute recommendation would be canned cannellini beans. It's not perfect, but it's another bean to add to the mix. Now, while I enjoy picking beans with my mom and my grandma, I think I'm gonna cut these with my knife. Cutting these in the exact same fashion I did as the green beans, just line them up, cut off the stem end, and then cut them into 1-inch pieces. Now, there isn't much difference between wax bean and green beans. I do find that wax beans tend to be a little sweeter. We're gonna add them to the bowl with the green beans. Going over to a cooktop, I have a large pot of boiling water. We're gonna season it up with salt to make sure it is as salty as the ocean, so it seasons our green beans. Once they're in there, it's only gonna take 2 or 3 minutes for these to cook. Now I was just thinking, while the beans are boiling, you know I'm the substitute king. If for some reason you don't have any access to the wax beans or the green beans, you could also substitute out for canned green and wax beans. Definitely not ideal, but if that's all you got, or you just have some you want to get rid of them, fantastic. You can obviously skip the boiling part. Give a look into our green beans, give them a quick mix. They are perfect. They are still al dente. You want that little crunch on these. We do not want them mushy. Let's drain them off, go right into an ice bath, which is just ice water, and chill them down completely. In the meantime, we can prep up a few things, beginning with 1 yellow onion. You could use a sweet white or red here. We just want to small dice these, set them to the side in a bowl. Next, I have 2 ribs of celery. We are also going to small dice these. And then I have a bell pepper, which we are going to trim down and then small dice these. You can use a yellow, a orange, or a red. Green, we'll talk about that in a second. Add them to the bowl with the celery and the onions. And Comies, look, you know I only like to use red, yellow, or orange bell peppers. Green bell peppers, they just don't have the flavor, and you're gonna miss a little bit of sweetness from the red bell peppers in the salad. So definitely use one of those 3, not green. We've got 1 15-ounce can of dark kidney beans. We're just gonna give them a rinse in a colander, get all the oils off of there. It's going into the bowl with the other cut vegetables. Now, you know I had to take this up a little bit. This is essentially going to take it from a 3-bean salad to a 4-bean salad, but some drained garbanzo beans are gonna just make this so much more delicious. Let's just add those chickpeas right to the bowl with everything else. Go back over to our wax and green beans. Give them a quick shake to give all the excess water off of there. Going back over to that bowl, pour them in there. Now for a few more things to finish this off. We're gonna add in 3 tablespoons of finely minced fresh parsley. Next, of course, we are going to season it up with salt and fresh cracked black pepper. And then what we want to do is grab that vinaigrette. Again, it's okay if it broke up a little bit because we're going to simply toss everything in here until it is combined using a rubber spatula. You want to gently fold this in. We're not looking for refried beans here. We want everything to be nice and chunky and firm. And this will last up to 5 days covered in the refrigerator. You may need to re-season it after that amount of time before you serve it, but when it does come to serving, all I do is put it in a bowl and sprinkle on a little bit more fresh chopped parsley. Simple, delicious. You're going to love that one. Now for the next one, Mediterranean bean salad. And just like in the 3-bean salad, we're gonna start off with our dressing. And in this case, we are going to be making a balsamic vinaigrette. Now, I've already got a great recipe video, which you can check out, shows step-by-step procedures. If not, really quickly, we're talking shallots, fresh basil, Dijon mustard, sugar or honey, balsamic vinegar, and a little blend of salad oil and extra virgin olive oil. Whisk it until it's combined. Hit it in a mason jar to save it for later. Boom, we are done.
And set it to the side.
Now here are the vegetables I like to add into this bean salad, and you can have some nuances here if you want to swap some things out or even change or add, totally up to you. I love using red and orange bell peppers or even yellow peppers. Again, no green. Gonna get a lot of sweetness in here, a lot of goodness. Then green zucchini, yellow squash, both of these are gonna be fantastic. Last but not least, a red onion. Now you couldn't use a yellow, a white, or a sweet as well, but we need to prep them up and slice them a certain way because we're gonna grill them up really quickly and then chill them. Here's what we do.
For the peppers, what we're gonna do is just slice off each side, both on the red and the yellow, and the bottom part too, which is perfect for grilling. And for the yellow squash and zucchini, we slice off both ends. And then what we wanna do is slice it long way, about 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 inch, somewhere in those lines. You should get about 4 slices per zucchini and squash, and we have 1 each here. Next, we have 1 red onion. We're gonna slice off the ends and give it a peel. We're gonna use about 1/2 to 2/3 of this, much like the zucchini and squash. We're gonna cut it about 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 inch thick. I want 1 more slice. I want a little bit more onion flavor. Add it to a sheet tray lined with parchment paper or a platter. Drizzle on 1/4 cup of olive oil total. Should be enough for both sides. Then we want to season it up on both sides as well with salt and fresh cracked black pepper. We are going over to a very hot grill in between 450 and 550 degrees Fahrenheit. We're going to add the vegetables on there. If we need to do it in batches because there's not enough room, no worries. These are going to take only 2 minutes per side to cook on that high heat. We are not looking to cook these to mush. We want some grill marks. We still want them a tad bit firm, nothing mushy at all. After they are done cooking, we're just going to come back, take everything off, put it on a plate, a platter, a sheet tray lined with parchment paper, whatever you have. They are going in the refrigerator. It's going to take about 15 minutes for these to completely cool down.
This is actually great timing because while the vegetables are chilling in the refrigerator, we can prep up our beans. Now, I'm gonna be using great northern beans, just a great bean to use here. You could use black or honestly, if you have a favorite bean, please use it. You can go through the process of soaking, cooking, and chilling. We're gonna go straight to the can, keep it very simple here. Just drain it and give it a really good rinse under cold water. Get all those oils off of there.
Give them a quick shake to get off any excess water. Go over to a large bowl and pour all of that goodness in there. After a few more minutes, we're going to bring our vegetables out. What we want to do is medium to large dice these, so everything is nice and uniform, whether it's the zucchini, the squash, or even the bell peppers. Everything should look the exact same.
And everything for this salad is finally prepped up. What we want to do is just start to assemble it. We're going to begin by just adding in these roasted vegetables. And then we're going to add in a couple other things, beginning with a tablespoon or 2 of finely minced fresh oregano. Of course, we want to season it up well with salt, and I've got a little bit of fresh cracked black pepper. And then grab that balsamic vinaigrette. Remember what we made at the beginning? We're going to add in about 1/4 of a cup to 1/3 cup or so. And then what we want to do is just mix it. Now remember to taste it, okay? We may need to add a little bit more seasonings and spices to this once we taste it. Always season once, taste twice, and be very gentle when folding this together. Looking good here. Now what we're going to do is just give it a quick little taste. Got a couple spoons here. It definitely needs a little bit more salt, a little bit more pepper, and for sure some more dressing on here. Should kick it up. We should be good to go after this.
Just give it a quick stir, make sure everything is completely combined, and at this point, you can serve it up or store it in the refrigerator.
And even something as simple and as silly as a bean salad, it will always go back to these fundamental cooking techniques. Getting that sear on the vegetables, but not overcooking them, making the dressing, seasoning them, tasting them, making sure everything is perfect. When you put these into practice, it will absolutely elevate your everyday cooking. Here's how we plate this up. Just put it into your favorite bowl, finish it off with a little fresh oregano and basil. Delicious, simple, refreshing. You are gonna love both of these salads. And if you wanna pair it up with something awesome, definitely hook it up with my grilled barbecue chicken recipe. You will love it. Got a great recipe video. I'll see you on there.